on Yellowstone. I could be fucking John Dutton. Sorry, Scotland is beautiful. As I walk the last 10 miles, it's come to the realisation that it's 10 miles to go. And I mean, even before 10 miles in, there was doubt. There was also, what have I done? What will people think if I was to pull out now? I honestly couldn't see in those first 10 miles me being in the last 10 miles. Let alone probably the first 40 miles, because that first day was hellish. But it's amazing what the body can actually do when you just press on and go for it. Now it's a kind of bittersweet. I'm so happy to get this over and done with, and it's the product of months of hard work, training, dedication, going out in the rain and the cold, making sure I've got the steps in, eating well, sacrificing family, nights out, and then for what, this last 10 miles, you know, but it's the self-accomplishment for me, for someone who 2 years ago would take the lift upstairs, would jump in the car to go round to my mum's, would see the easy way out and everything. So to me that's the change. But as the day comes towards the last 5 hours, I'm thinking of the end, but I'm sadly thinking, what's next? What would I do differently? There's plenty I'd do differently. I'm too old for camping, that's for sure. Need bag scales to weigh everything meticulously, not kind of, yeah, that's about that, and then pop them on your scales that you weigh yourself with and think, no, that's about it. Because you don't factor in water, you don't factor in rain and fatigue and these things. Well, no, I didn't anyway. So what's next? I can't see myself being a baggage transfer kind of guy. I think I would probably do as some of my other friends have done, who have done the Great Glen or the Spey Way or even the West Highland Way, and that's book hostels or B&Bs. The key is travel light. Your best asset is your feet. It's the most important asset. And I know I've looked after them. What I would have said, well, I was nursing a previous injury before I came out from training, and that was the toenail. There was always a blister forming underneath the toe. Unfortunately, that got the better of me at the end of day 2. So it does plague in your mind, but I tell you something, I've got one hell of a foot strapping strategy. It was taking about 45 minutes in cramped confined spaces to do, but as long as you've got Luca tape, cushion plasters, Compeed or the devil, they're great at the time, but taking off is the worst thing ever if you've been standing on them all day. Saline wash, antibacterial wipes, a wee pair of scissors, and moleskin tape, or I think it was Luca tape, I might have already mentioned that. Having good tunes, motivational tunes. It's funny how many lyrics there are out there that just fits the situation right, and you almost assume that they were written for you. There were some highs, some extremely lows, very lows. I haven't once felt lonely. Maybe that's the reason I like to be called the lone walker, because I never really find that I miss company. Yeah, I'm a short text message, WhatsApp, Instagram post away from anyone that I need to be in contact with. Anyone else, not really bothered. So yeah, I just thought I would say that in the last wee bit. I'm gonna get the tunes on, head down. I managed to sort of tune out my big toe, my second toe pain today. Heels are okay. I think I must have just got a good strapping strategy this morning for taping the feet. Hips, I found that the higher I wear my trousers, the easier my hips are. But I had an inguinal hernia operation about 10 years ago, maybe even more than that. And I realised that the hip pain that I've been getting quite a lot may not have been a hip muscle, but actually the area where I had the hernia operation, because there was kind of mesh holding it in, because it wasn't that kind of pain in the other hip. So I'm putting it down to that. Yeah, so as I trundle on, the sniffing still happens, the midges are still biting, I've got a slight wobble, I've got a hunch on my back, I'm bending forward now. Standing straight is going to be difficult. I've probably lost about an inch in height as well. My hands are sore from holding my poles there. But what fun it's been. I know I'm keen to document the good times, but I'm also keen to document the bad times. I think when you see this on social media, not just me, but when people do this, when you follow some of the YouTube personalities like Sam Cully, etc., you see all the good bits, the highs, you know, the nice views, the nice places they've stopped for a coffee, something to eat, the gear that they use and how great it is. But they don't tell you, here's when the gear fails, here's when the charger doesn't work, here's when your feet have just burst open in the middle of a tent and infested with midges. They don't tell you that. Here's conserving water, because you don't know, and you didn't think you would need as much because it was supposed to rain, but actually it was baking hot. All these things, they just make it your own journey. So if you are going to do something like this, do it for yourself. By all means, watch people like Sam Cully or even myself to see how I did it, but no journey's the same twice. Nothing will prepare you for it, and that's all I can say. Train hard and just enjoy it. Wanted to know what a £9 bar of chocolate tastes like. That chocolate place. So if I was training for this, something I used to do every weekend, and probably still will do, was the Mulgai Reservoir, Craig Maddie, Drumclock, whatever you want to call it, reservoir. It is approximately, almost to the button, 3 miles long. Saturday, Sunday without fail, up at 7:30. I would do 3 laps of that, so, well, it was 3 and a wee bit added, so I was doing 10 miles, because there's like other little wee damn reservoir bits, and that was my training. So it was also very good to know where a mile was in that route. and it has been a staple in all my training, was that reservoir, and I come to known people to say hello to on a weekly basis. Well, the reason I'm saying I'm standing up at the top of the world and I've got one reservoir rotation to do. I've got 3 miles left and I can't believe that that's it. Full of pride just now. I think that's probably not emotional yet, but I'm just full of pride. I can't believe that I've got 1 lap of the reservoir to do. Let's do this. And just like I started to piss and rain leaving Drimmen 5 days ago, in the distance is Pitlochry, and the heavens have opened again on me. Last mile. Let's finish strong. So that was it, the Rob Roy Way. It's been several months now since I completed that. Walking is still going on strong. I really did burn myself out from that walk. So that was 86 miles, 5 days, 185,000 steps in total. Finished on the Saturday and was in agony. Feet, back, hips, legs, everything. So finished with a broken toe, hairline fractured my toe, nail clean off, hips screwed. We did it all again. I think by the next day I was planning what was going to do next. So the plan was to take a couple of months off of the heavy training and get back into it. I've been pretty poor with uploading videos, so this is the last one. I am going to attempt the next walk in the new year when the midges aren't as bad. So I'm now going to start my training as of this weekend to do the Spey Way, which is Newton Moor to Buckie, or Buckie to Newton Moor, whatever way I choose to do it. So that will be the next one. So thank you for following along. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing the walk. It taught me a lot of things. It changed me. I know people say that it changed you as a human being. It really did change the way I look at a lot of things. Changed the way I look at myself. Taught a lot about myself, about how much more the body can give when you think there's nothing more to give. There's plenty more in the tank. And I just really enjoyed it. Tips for me is plan ahead. Don't rely too heavily on technology. Train, enjoy it, and make sure you've got a good supply of music with you. Music, audiobooks, get you through it. But I urge you, do it yourself. Do it in your own time and do it within your means. It was a dream come true. As I say, something I once I started, couldn't see the end in sight, but I did. I got there. Anyway, thank you so much for the people that have watched along and been patient for me uploading this last video. I hope you enjoyed the journey, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one. Thanks again. Cheers.